AI is advancing faster than most organizations can handle. A quiet but significant shift is unfolding in how companies adopt and integrate AI technologies. This gap isn't just a tech problem, it impacts your job security, career growth, and the stability of entire industries. When companies aren't ready, AI causes disruption instead of efficiency. Understanding this disconnect reveals why some businesses thrive while others collapse under pressure. The consequences reach far beyond the boardroom and into everyday work life.
The details behind this divide expose hidden risks and opportunities you need to know.
The full scope of this transformation demands your attention now. By the way, this channel shares one bold insight like this every week. If this perspective is useful, consider subscribing. Artificial intelligence isn't just advancing, it's leaping ahead at a pace that most organizations can't match. The gap between AI capability and organizational readiness isn't a minor hiccup. It's a structural fault line, threatening to disrupt entire industries. Right now, AI systems are executing complex tasks, making strategic decisions, and automating workflows with an efficiency that outstrips human potential. Yet the vast majority of companies are still stuck in legacy mindsets, rigid hierarchies, and outdated IT infrastructures. This mismatch isn't just a technical problem. It's a foundational challenge that undercuts competitive advantage and operational resilience. This lag in organizational adaptation fuels a vicious cycle. Companies hesitate to invest in AI because they fear disruption, but that hesitation guarantees they'll fall further behind. The reluctance to overhaul internal processes creates a bottleneck that stifles innovation and drains talent. Employees with AI skills don't want to be tethered to slow-moving firms, so they jump ship to startups or tech giants that are aggressively pushing AI boundaries. This brain drain accelerates the decay of legacy companies, making them less attractive to investors and customers alike. The longer companies delay, the harder it becomes to reverse the trend, trapping them in a downward spiral. Moreover, this uneven AI adoption reshapes the competitive landscape in unexpected ways. It's not just about who has the best technology, but who can weave AI into their strategic DNA. Firms that integrate AI deeply into decision-making gain predictive insights and operational agility that let them outmaneuver competitors. They don't just automate tasks, they reinvent business models, transforming product development, customer engagement, and supply chains. This creates a growing divide where early adopters capture disproportionate market share, while laggards struggle to survive on shrinking margins. The ripple effect extends beyond profits. Entire sectors risk consolidation as dominant players leverage AI to squeeze out smaller rivals. On a societal level, this uneven readiness exacerbates inequality. Workers in companies that resist AI face uncertain futures. Jobs vanish or evolve faster than they can adapt. Meanwhile, those in AI-forward environments experience rapid upskilling and new career pathways. This divergence fuels regional economic disparities and social tensions, as communities tied to outdated industries struggle to attract investment or retain talent. Governments and policymakers are caught off guard, lacking frameworks to manage these shifts. Without proactive measures, the AI gap won't just disrupt businesses. It will deepen divides within the workforce and society at large. The uneven pace of AI integration also rewires power dynamics within organizations themselves. As AI systems take on analytical and decision-making roles, traditional managerial authority weakens. Those who control AI tools, data scientists, AI strategists, and tech leads, gain disproportionate influence, sometimes sidelining longtime department heads. This shift can spark internal conflicts, eroding trust and collaboration. Employees may feel alienated if AI-driven decisions seem opaque or biased, prompting resistance that further hampers adoption. Companies that fail to manage this internal power redistribution risk not only implementation failures, but also toxic workplace cultures that undermine productivity. Adding another layer, the data fueling AI presents its own set of risks and leverage points. Organizations with access to vast, high-quality data pools can train more effective AI models, creating a feedback loop that strengthens their competitive edge. Meanwhile, companies with poor data infrastructure fall behind, locked out of this virtuous cycle. This dynamic incentivizes aggressive data acquisition strategies, sometimes at the expense of privacy and ethics. Regulatory backlash is inevitable,
but lagging companies may find themselves caught between compliance costs and competitive survival.
Ultimately, data becomes a strategic asset and battleground, shaping who thrives or falters in the AI era. Internationally, the AI readiness divide amplifies geopolitical tensions. Nations leading in AI development gain economic and military advantages, influencing global power balances. Countries stuck in the slow lane risk economic stagnation and reduced influence in international forums. This imbalance pressures governments to prioritize AI investment and talent retention, sometimes at the cost of civil liberties or ethical standards. Moreover, AI-driven automation reshapes global supply chains, enabling reshoring and reducing reliance on low-cost labor markets. This threatens the economic stability of developing countries, potentially destabilizing regions and sparking new conflicts fueled by economic despair. Finally, the human cost of this AI transition is more than job displacement. It's a fundamental reshaping of skills and identity. Workers must not only learn new technical abilities, but also develop adaptability, systems thinking, and collaboration with AI counterparts. Those unable or unwilling to evolve face marginalization. Education and training systems lag behind, often rooted in outdated models that fail to prepare people for hybrid human-AI roles. Without systemic reform, the workforce fractures into a privileged AI-competent elite and a precarious underclass. This split will pressure social safety nets and demand bold public-private partnerships to bridge the growing divide between AI haves and have-nots. Beyond the workforce and organizational shifts, AI's acceleration exposes how fragile existing regulatory frameworks really are. Most governments are still trying to fit AI into rules designed for earlier tech eras, rules that can't keep pace with rapidly evolving algorithms and their real-world impacts. This regulatory lag creates a Wild West environment where companies push boundaries unchecked, sometimes deploying biased, opaque, or risky AI systems. The fallout isn't hypothetical. Consumer trust erodes as scandals around AI misuse or failure surface. Without timely, adaptable regulation, the market risks being dominated by a few unchecked players, entrenching monopolies and stifling innovation from smaller competitors who can't afford compliance uncertainties. On a different front, the cultural implications of AI ubiquity are profound and often overlooked. As AI systems increasingly shape communication, content, and social interaction, they influence public discourse and collective understanding. Algorithms that curate news feeds or moderate speech carry inherent biases and priorities, subtly steering narratives and opinions. This power dynamic centralizes influence over information flows in the hands of tech companies operating globally, but without democratic oversight. The consequence? A potential erosion of public autonomy and an amplification of polarization, misinformation, and social fragmentation. The unchecked rise of AI in shaping culture demands scrutiny, because it redefines who controls what knowledge and how society understands itself. Meanwhile, the environmental impact of AI's rapid expansion is a mounting concern with serious consequences. Training and running advanced AI models consume enormous amounts of energy and rely on data centers often powered by fossil fuels. As demand for AI services skyrockets, so does the carbon footprint tied to its infrastructure. This environmental cost conflicts directly with sustainability goals and raises questions about trade-offs between technological progress and planetary health. Companies and governments that ignore this dimension risk backlash from stakeholders and consumers increasingly aware of green credentials. AI's growth trajectory is not just a question of ethics or efficiency. It's a climate issue that intersects with global commitments to reduce emissions and conserve resources. Lastly, the psychological toll on workers navigating this AI-driven upheaval is significant and rarely addressed in corporate strategies. Constant pressure to reskill, adapt, and compete with machines generates chronic stress, burnout, and a sense of existential insecurity. The always-on culture AI enables, where monitoring and performance optimization become relentless, undermines mental well-being. This hidden cost affects productivity and employee retention, but remains invisible because companies